All right, so get this. We're diving into the world of sonora noir today. This is a debut novel, by the way. It's called Escritor by Carlos Mal. And get this, it's a finalist, all right, for the Primera Novela Amazon 2024.
Oh, wow.
Big
Time. Yeah, you've got some seriously high stakes reading material there. Especially, when you consider that Mal is up against like international publishing giants,
right?
like Alfaguara and Random House.
Huge.
The fact that his book, which was originally published by a small Sonoran press, Vilches Morris,
Right.
is even in the running is really a testament to how powerful this story is.
And here's the kicker, okay? It's been simmering for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Mal, who's from Hermosillo,
Okay.
started this back in his youth.
Wow.
Thanks to a push from the Escritores de Sonora group. He dusted it off and bam, instant literary contender.
Yeah.
So we've got excerpts from the novel itself. We've got a Spanish language news article about the book and author. And 2 synopses, one brief,
Okay.
one really brief.
Okay.
Okay, so our mission, should you choose to accept it, is to arm you with the need-to-know plot points,
Right.
character insights, and the meta elements that make this novel stand out. Think of it as your cheat sheet to absolutely rocking your next book club discussion.
I love it. And one of those meta elements is clear from the jump. Like both synopses highlight the novel's very unusual structure. We're talking a story within a story within a story.
Oh boy.
That's your first clue that Escritor is playing on a different level
Okay.
than your average thriller.
Okay, so let's unpack this.
Okay.
The protagonist, Escritor, is, well, a writer. Talk about meta. Right. Then there's his ex, Julia,
Okay.
and her new lover, Gomez, who's got a serious score to settle and a pretty permanent solution in mind.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and did we mention the mysterious package?
We did, and it is a fantastic hook to pull you in. But here's where Mal gets really clever. He weaves in excerpts from the novel that Escritor is working on,
Okay.
blurring the lines between fiction and reality.
Wow.
From the very first page,
Yeah.
it makes you question everything you're reading.
And then there's Delmira, this unsuspecting package deliverer, stumbles into Escritor's life and quickly becomes his confidant, even his muse.
Right.
But is she just a plot device to move the story along? Or is there something more to her role? That's where those layers really start to get interesting.
Right.
And Gomez, he isn't your typical jealous ex,
No.
right? This is an artist, a playwright,
Yeah.
who's obsessed with control, like with getting the perfect result.
Right.
Even when it comes to revenge, you get these like chilling details in the news article about how he prepares for this act.
Yeah.
Even going so far as to engrave a bullet with Julia's name.
Oh, wow. It's fascinating how that obsession with control kind of plays out,
Right.
Because instead of just going through with his plan, right, he sends the package to Escritor.
Oh, wow.
It's like he's orchestrating like this twisted play, and he needs Escritor to play a part.
Right.
And this is where that novel within a novel really kicks in. Because the story that Escritor tells Delmira about Gomez's plan, that's already a retelling,
Right.
filtered through his perspective. But then Delmira, she takes it a step further. She starts writing her own version of events.
It's like Mal is holding up a mirror to the creative process itself.
Absolutely.
Like we see how a single event can be like interpreted and reinterpreted,
Right. Yeah.
bringing something new in the hands of each storyteller.
Exactly. And as these layers unfold, you start to notice these recurring themes, right, of obsession
Yeah.
and those blurry lines between reality and fiction. Like both Escritor and Delmira use writing as a way to kind of cope with their past traumas, to like regain a sense of control
Right.
in a world that feels chaotic.
And you can't talk about control without talking about those cyclical patterns in the plot.
Right.
Characters mirroring each other's actions, situations repeating themselves. Like when Escritor ends up at Gomez's apartment seeking refuge, it's almost an exact reflection of Julia's earlier visit to him. It makes you wonder if any of these characters are truly in control of their own destinies.
It's like they're caught in a web of their own making.
Right.
Each decision leading to an inevitable outcome.
Yeah.
That's what makes Mal's writing so compelling.
Yeah. Right.
He doesn't give you easy answers.
Yeah.
He makes you question everything.
Yeah.
And just when you think you figured it out, the ending throws you for a loop.
So we've got this really intricate plot, these characters wrestling with these huge questions
Right.
about art, life, and the stories we tell ourselves. But like you said, the ending is what really flips the script.
Yeah, it does. And it's that final twist,
Yeah.
that elevates Escritors
Mm-hmm.
from, a cleverly plotted thriller, to something like truly profound. Remember how Mal describes his book in that news article?
Mm-hmm.
He calls it a book printed with this humility, competing against books that have distribution in bookstores all over Latin America and even Europe.
Right. Like he's foreshadowing almost the entire journey of this novel.
Right. Yeah.
This small, seemingly insignificant story that ends up packing just as powerful of a punch as those big guys.
Exactly. And just when you think you've got a handle on, like, who's manipulating whom, who's the author and who's the character,
Mm-hmm.
Mal pulls the rug out from under you. He connects that shocking final act back to that recurring theme,
Right.
of cyclical violence.
Yeah.
The allure and the danger of artistic passion. It's like he's saying that even in the face of tragedy, that human need to tell stories, to create meaning out of chaos, will always persist.
And he does it in such a brutal yet poetic way. Like without giving anything away for our listener, those final scenes, they really drive home that no one is truly in control.
Right.
It makes you question everything you thought you knew about the characters, about their motivations.
And that's why this book, this deep dive that we've taken together,
Right.
matters. Escritor isn't just a thriller.
Right.
It's a meditation on how we construct our own narratives.
Yeah.
Find meaning in the chaos.
Yeah.
And walk that fine line between creation and destruction. It challenges you to think about the stories you tell yourself,
Right.
the ones you consume, and the power they have to shape your reality. What story are you being pulled into?
Wow. That's a pretty intense thought to leave us with. And it speaks to Mal's talent as a writer.
Right.
That he can pack so much depth into such a tightly woven story.
Absolutely. And the fact that this is just his debut novel,
I know.
it makes you wonder what he'll tackle next. I, for one, can't wait to find out.
Me too. So if you're looking for a quick read that will stick with you long after you turn the final page,
Right.
Escritor is it. It's a wild ride for the dark side of creativity that might just make you question the stories you tell yourself. And who knows, maybe it'll even inspire you to start writing your own. Just maybe steer clear of vengeful muses and engraved bullets, all right.
Agreed.
Until next time, happy reading.